Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today it's time to listen to some of your phone calls. I have banked them up for a little while, so it is time for another Ask the Pulpit. And we have calls from a variety of people this time. It appears to be at least 7 different phone numbers. So hopefully that means 7 different people, and that, maybe we just don't have one person that just borrowed 7 different phones. Anyway, so today, to start though, we need to get a cigar going. And I wanted to smoke something that I'm familiar with, and I decided I was going to match my sweatshirt color to my band color. And I went with the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua. I'm smoking the 6x54 Toro, and it is a Nicaraguan Puro. The notes detail that I should be getting flavor notes of cedar, leather, and toast, but I can tell you there's definitely a pepper component to this because this is a collaboration between A.J. Fernandez and Rafael Nodal, and it uses tobacco grown on A.J. Fernandez's farm in Esteli. So he definitely likes his pepper. So I know there's a pepper component to it. But anyway, it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. 2 Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows 2 Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. Please go to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. Put it in the little comment box when you're buying your cigars. Just put it in the little box there and tell them, hey, Nick sent me here. And just remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So we are going to get that going here and give this guy a little bit of a cut. Now, I just picked this up the other day. This was actually a little, I guess I'm kind of revealing my recording schedule here by telling you this, but I am recording a little bit in advance. And this was going to be one of my Halloween night cigars. I was going to sit out and give this smoke this while I was waiting for trick-or-treaters. But then the trick-or-treaters came pretty fast and furious, and I was like, I probably shouldn't be firing up a cigar while interacting with these young children and their parents. And so I held off. And by the time they were all done, I was done. It was a long day. And I was ready to go to bed early. So I opted not to. So it's okay. I have it for today. So on the cold draw. On the cold draw, it's a little leathery, slightly. I always say earthy, but I think earthy is kind of like in my brain with a lot of these cigars. Like, I don't know. I need to really. That's something that I want to do for next year. Is I want to figure out like how we can refine our palate. I've been doing this whole stars or the boners program with the Cigar Authority and everything, and I kind of feel like I've been stuck in a bit of a rut. Like a lot of the cigars they send me taste the same, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me and I need to refine the palate, or if everything is just tasting the same lately, or what. But I need to expand that out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this guy lit up, and while we do that, let's listen to the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so. They can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars use authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah.
I think it's like seven or eight times that it's said in that. I can't remember. I know we counted once, and I don't mean to belabor the point, but anyway, let's go ahead and by the way, the pepper right off the foot. So with the description of the cigar is talking about like cedar and toast and this and that and whatever, pepper right off the foot of the cigar. So it's definitely a Romeo y Julieta that knows somebody. It's not the comparison between the blue band and the red band is not even close. Like it's amped up to a different level. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's do this.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my wiener.
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
All right, guys, it's time for another Ask the Pulpit episode. And for those of you who may be new, this is when I listen to phone calls that you guys have called into the hotline, listen to the messages that you've left, and answer questions or you respond to comments, things of that nature. Basically, this is the interactive episode where you get to spout off and tell me what's what, and I get to respond to it. So anyway, we will go ahead and jump right into it with we're going to jump right into the first call here.
Jerry Pulaski here.
Oh, God.
I find myself in a bit of a pickle, as I am currently trapped underneath 200 pounds plus of rotten cucumbers.
Oh, no.
Yes, it turns out. Anyways, my suspicions are that a voodoo priestess I recently encountered has put a...
Whoop. I don't know what that was all about, but it does look as though he called back, so we can see if...
Anyways, Jerry Pulaski here again. I think I got cut off, but fret no more. I do have a counterattack planned. I have been sitting on this plan for quite some time, and I have procured a number of chicken feet, and when my Social Security check ran out, I did switch to chicken nuggets. But I am under the understanding that if you set them afire, while playing Milli Vanilli backwards, it will set off some sort of hex. And seeing as you are my emergency contact, I would need you to complete this mission on our behalf. Anyways, keep me updated. Your pal, Jerry James Pulaski.
So, okay, first, we now know that Jerry Pulaski's middle name apparently is James. But second, I'm very confused. Is he, Jerry? Are you wanting me to step into a fire with chicken feet or something? I'm so confused as to what's going on here. So, I'm just gonna let Jerry sort this out. He called about this a little bit ago. So I'm thinking that if he was truly trapped underneath a bunch of cucumbers, he would have dealt with it by now. So I'm going to let that go. But anyway, let's move on to the next call here and see what's going on.
What's up, Nick? Hey, and pulpiteers or parishioners. I should really call you by your name. I mean, y'all were here before I ever... Anyway, What's up, dude? So, last Ask the Pulpit episode, I was like, I don't know, 4 of the 5 or 6 calls. So I'm going to try not to be that again. However, I got a couple bits of really good news I wanted to share with people. First, I don't even know which one to start with, man. Okay.
Well, come on.
I'll try this because both are really good. I don't think you understand how good they are. So, 1. Okay, I'll start with this one.
I'm waiting.
I had been applying for transfers from the one park that I'm at to go to other parks. The current park that I'm at, I've been with for 9 years.
Okay.
Which, as a ranger, not yet manager, that's a lot of time with one park. There's really 2 types of rangers. Well, I say that there's many, many types of rangers.
Texas
but
Rangers.
In this particular sense, there's the rangers that stay their entire life as a ranger too with one park and don't really do anything. And then there's the rangers that swap from park to park several times before they get enough experience to become a manager. I'm hoping to be the latter, the second one.
Okay.
So this park that I applied to, this is my 4th attempt to transfer, and I actually got accepted.
Nice.
And it's so exciting because the reason I can't ever do anything, and I calculated last night, I have 1,781 hours to, what is that called? Leave hours, right? Split between sick leave, compensatory leave, and annual leave. But I have almost 1,800 hours. It's ridiculous. I can't take time off at this particular park. It's ridiculous. So this is actually fantastic news because I should be able to go to things like, I don't know, Pulpit Fest. That is just cool. Maybe a freaking NFL game at Nissan Stadium. That would be awesome. I don't know. I'm really excited. But second bit of good news, and about as important, I tried another Remington. Man, it's weird. The first Remington, no, who's calling me? Oh no, I have to take this call. I'm going to call again. It's going to be like 72 calls in a row. I'm so sorry. Peace.
Well, Dakota, that's awesome news on the transfer, the position, and it's good news that you're actually finally able to use some of your leave time. That's such a screw. I feel bad for so many people that find themselves in their positions of employment where they have to keep their job, but at the same time, they're essentially being abused by their employer in such a way that, they can't utilize the benefits that they're given, or they don't have the freedom and ability to, take time off, accordingly for things. I mean, we work ourselves to death in this country, and we do so for it's ridiculous. And you see these other countries, and granted, they pay significantly higher taxes because, the government in those countries gives them so much versus our government that says that they give us a lot and takes, a fair amount of money. But in the reality of things, if we get sick, we're kind of boned in a lot of ways. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a messed up system, and I can't fix it sitting here by myself in my garage, 13 minutes into an Ask the Pulpit episode. But by God, like it's all kinds of fucked up. And yeah, I'm glad you're able to use your leave time and can actually consider going to things like a football game on a Sunday. The fact that you can't even consider taking time off on a Sunday to just go to a football game. I mean, come on, dude. That's fucked up, but it's good that you're able to. So let's listen to the other call here from Dakota, because he evidently got done with the one call and was able to call back.
All right, now that emergency has been averted, hey, this is Dakota again, with hopefully my last call. So
I don't mind multiple calls.
The Remington,
just make them good.
So I went ahead and thought about it, and I was thinking to myself, I'm going to take these Remingtons, and I'm going to smoke them every few months and just, see if there's any difference at all in them.
Okay.
And then after the first couple puffs, if they taste like absolute booty cheeks, then I am going to throw them into a fire.
I know one person that likes the taste of booty cheeks.
This one that I just, I capped it, snipped it, cut it, whatever it's called, and took a cold draw, and I tasted, ammonia. It was the weirdest thing. It was woody.
Wow.
And kind of spicy, actually. It was very interesting. So I was like, whew. I went and lit it up. And it, woody, spicy, still came in. It was more oaky than cedary, I guess. But in it really reminded me of, I don't know if y'all are big, assorted nuts and Christmas thing, where they go to the grocery stores and you buy all these different, like Brazil nuts and pecans and the other things that I can't remember right now.
I'm aware.
And, you break them open with those little, nutcrackers.
Nutcrackers. Yeah.
And you eat them. It's been a big thing with me and my dad forever. So it kind of reminds me if I get a pecan that's just a little too green because I still taste the tannins, that leaves my mouth just a little bit dry. So it was very pecan-y when I lit it up. It's very nice. And then I puffed for about 5 or 6 times, and that's when I stopped tasting things. Then it just tastes like a cigar because my palate is not that good. It was actually delicious. The first Remington I tried was the worst Gurkha I've ever had, if that tells you something. And then the second one is by far the best Gurkha I've ever had. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Really, I had just listened to an episode of Cigar Pulpit. Nope. What is that called? Cigar Authority. And Dave says always try a cigar twice, because you might have gotten a cigar that was just rolled poorly.
It's possible.
I guess that's what happened. I'm not sure. But this is good. So it's weird. I'm never buying them again. But it was still good. Anyway, that's my other bit of good news. Got another job somewhere where I'll actually have some free time and ability to take time off. And then the second Remington I had was actually pretty freaking good. Yay. All right, man. Peace.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the Remington situation has at least kind of straightened itself out a little bit. I will say, to the Cigar Authority's point about, smoke two because the first one may not have been rolled correctly. The rolling isn't necessarily going to impact the age of the tobacco. I mean, if the tobacco is too young and ammonia filled, then rolling it now or rolling it poorly or rolling it well isn't gonna fix the flavor. But I also don't know if a couple of months would have helped it in your humidor to the point that it got rid of the ammonia and became this Christmas nut feast that you're talking about. I good for you. I'm glad that it's working out for you. Maybe you did just get a poor one. Maybe, Lord knows. The only thing that I'll say is, you said that it went from being the worst Gurkha you ever smoked to the best Gurkha you ever smoked. But where does that rank on your overall ranking, I guess is my question. Because, the best Gurkha you ever smoked, what is that? That feels like a very backhanded compliment to me. But anyway, Dakota, always great to hear from you. Like I said, I'm cool with multiple calls. Just make them good quality calls. That's the only thing I ever ask. So moving on, and you do, and I enjoy your calls. So thank you so much for calling in. So moving on, we are gonna listen to a voicemail from another caller.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis from Alberta, Canada.
What up, Dennis?
Calling. Just catching up on some episodes, and the one with you and Luke talking about food was really good. So I'm just wondering, how do I send you a Saskatoon pie? I think you should try it. They're pretty tasty if you like berry pie. I can't remember if you said you did or not.
I love pie.
But, anyhow, there's that. And you're wondering about foods from our locales. And one thing I've never tried around here where I live and other places in Alberta, Saskatchewan as well, there's something called prairie oysters. I don't know if I'm brave enough to try one. Don't know if I want to put one on my bucket list to try. But it's usually done after brandings. It's from making bull calves into steers, if you get my drift.
I don't want to eat those.
Not sure how to cook them. I think people bread them, but I don't really know because I haven't been around it. So basically it's cooked cow testicles. Anyhow, hopefully that doesn't offend too many listeners.
Dude,
What's
that
another one? Oh, something for the entertainment portion. Don't know if you've ever seen the movie Zardoz. I got thinking about that after the last time you and your dad were talking. It's with Sean Connery, and I can't remember the lady that was in it. It's from 1974.
Is that where he wears the like itty bitty outfit?
Futuristic dystopian film, but pretty cool from what I can remember. Thought it would be neat to do a remake of it with a cigar pulpit theme. The big giant head in it, the Zardoz, could be spewing out cigars to the hungry masses instead of guns.
I like it.
Like the movie does. Might be maybe a little more civilized and elegant. Anyway, if you happen to know about that movie or you've seen it, love to hear your thoughts on it. Cheers, Nick. Talk to you later. Bye.
Great to hear from you, Dennis. And no, I haven't seen it, but I am vaguely remembering a picture I've seen of Sean Connery in a futuristic sci-fi-ish kind of movie where he's wearing a very small costume. A lot of skin. It's a little unsettling, I won't lie, but it might be that movie. But I'm all for, my giant head spewing cigars for the masses. So I like this idea. As for the testicles, so it's funny. The testicles are a delicacy in various places. I mean, I've heard of Rocky Mountain oysters. I know around here, there's at least one town in southern Illinois that every year they have a testicle festival where you get together and it's just a whole bunch of testicles and you can eat a whole bunch of balls. Beef, cow, I mean, it's bull, but yeah, it's a thing. I've never had one. I have no desire to have one. I will not be trying them. So, it is what it is, but no, it's a thing around here too, man. As for how you get a pie to me, that's a good damn question. I don't know how you would ship a pie and have it arrive in such a way that would actually be whole and good. But if you can figure it out, I would be glad to give you my address so that I can give this pie a rating, because I do so enjoy pie. So anyway, always good to hear from you, Dennis. And you know what? You brought up the Villiger Entertainment Report, so why don't we go ahead and do that real quick? It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarillo manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. In terms of what I've been watching lately, I did finish Agatha All Along on Disney+. Those of you who are into the Marvel movies and TV shows still, and didn't tap out at some point throughout, maybe you've watched this, maybe you haven't. It was a spin-off of WandaVision, which was the first show that Marvel did on Disney+ after Avengers Endgame. When I first started watching the show, I had no interest. And by the end of the show, I was wrapped up, hooked in, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I will say, if you're going into it, as with all things Marvel these days, you got to figure out what you need to watch beforehand in order to fully understand it. And that sucks. And that's something they're going to have to figure out, because they've gotten too big. And people are going to start checking out if they can't keep up with everything. And it's hard. It's hard to keep up. But the movie, TV show WandaVision, and the second Doctor Strange movie, I feel like are essential watching for Agatha All Along. However, the end of the show was good. It kind of set up some other things. I'll be curious to see where it goes. But it was enjoyable. I actually really did. I didn't think I was going to like it, and I did. So that was good. Also, Godzilla -1 was re-released in movie theaters and to celebrate Godzilla's 70th anniversary. and they re-released it both in color and black and white, and I finally got a chance to see it in black and white. Such a good movie. I know I harped on it when it was out before, and I loved it. But it's such a good movie. They added some extra footage, like some stuff that they had edited out, and it was just it's more than just a Godzilla movie. Like, it's got a whole story about a person who is trying to find his place in the world and to kind of come to grips with his reality and atone for past mistakes and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot to this movie. I'm telling you, this is more than just a Godzilla movie. It's really, really good. So Godzilla -1, I saw that. It's on Netflix, or at least it was on Netflix. I haven't looked in a long time. So, but it was on Netflix. So, you should be able to check it out there if you are so inclined. Otherwise, that's kind of all I've been watching and entertained by lately. I'm kind of gearing up for the holidays. We're now into November, so now we're looking ahead to Thanksgiving, looking ahead to Christmas. It's a hectic time of year for a variety of things, and my TV watching and movie watching really, really ramps up right after Christmas, because it slows down considerably as soon as we hit like day after Christmas. Things get really, really slow, and it stays that way for a little while. So I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. So for right now, I'm busy, but there's plenty of time to catch up on a few things. Now, one other entertainment note that I did want to make. I did just see a screenshot recently from the second season of Tulsa King. Now, I love the first season of Tulsa King. I haven't watched the second yet. I am behind. I need to catch up on that. That's also one that comes out once a week. I like to just binge these shows. I don't like, waiting weekly for them, because I end up forgetting, and then next thing you know, I've watched half a season and I can't remember where it was, and blah, 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 and all that. So I'm kind of letting it bank up. However, I did see in a screenshot that I saw online recently that some characters were on there, and they were smoking the Perdomo 20th anniversary. Looked like the Sun-Grown. So, yep, you got Perdomo Cigars making an appearance in Tulsa King. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, let's move on now and get back to the calls and take another call here.
Hey, Nick, it's Andrew from, Florissant now. I moved, but I got a bunch of stuff that I do when someone comes to St. Louis. If you want to reach out to me, I can give you it's food heavy, not less, place heavy, but I have a bunch of stuff that I always do with people when they come to St. Louis, or if they want to do their own little thing, I give them suggestions. So shoot me a message. Thanks.
Well, unfortunately, my out-of-town guest ended up not coming to St. Louis this weekend that he was supposed to. It's totally cool. I mean, it's unfortunate. I think both of us are like kind of slightly. He's probably more bummed than I am. I'm not saying I'm not bummed, but like I think he's taking it a little harder. It's just one of those things where shit happens, life happens, and you got to deal with the important stuff first, and then once you deal with the important stuff, then you can go and go have fun. And so it's not like I'm going anywhere. It's not like St. Louis is going anywhere. It's not like, it's not like I'm not going to, be a welcoming host whenever the time arrives. So for now, it is what it is. But anyway, but no, I would like to know the recommendations and all that. And, congratulations on the move there, Andrew. I don't remember exactly where you were prior. I know you were in the area, but I don't remember what town. But there you go. Congratulations. Next, I don't know what this call is. This will be interesting. This appears to be a 9-second completely blank voicemail. Okay, well, I've been getting a lot of spam calls. Have you guys been getting a lot of spam calls? I have gotten so many spam calls lately. I mean, we're talking easily in the neighborhood of like 8 a day. And all different numbers. I'm blocking every number. Every time they call, I block the number, and so they can't call back from that number. But my God, they're calling back from all kinds of different numbers. And I'll get 8 spam calls a day, and they all leave the exact same voicemail. So it's the same people calling from different numbers, and they're calling from numbers from all over the country, local numbers, other area codes from Illinois, some from just all over the damn country. It's unreal the amount of spam calls that I've been getting, and I don't know what to blame it on, but it's getting really, really obnoxious, and I really want it to stop. And for the amount of money that we pay our cell phone carriers for service, you would think they would somehow or another have a way to screen and block. My phone says spam or spam call or telemarketer or whatever when the number comes up. So if AT&T, in my case, can identify that it's a spam call or a telemarketer call, why can't they identify it and just block it? Why do they think I want to hear from Dwayne in the loans department and he's pre-authorized to give me up to $30,000 and this and that and whatever? No, it's bullshit. I don't want that. And when he calls from 7 different numbers, during the day and says the exact same thing, I can guarantee you I don't want to know it. So I'm shocked that these cell phone carriers continue to allow this kind of stuff to come through. But, what are you going to do? I don't know. So, moving on, we have another call here.
Hey, Nick. Josh here. Thanks for approving me into the Parishioners Facebook group the other day. Quick question for you. I was wondering, as someone who likes mild to medium plus cigars, really likes the Maduros and the Connecticut's, I'm looking to get into the Villiger based on your show. What would you recommend as a good starting place for the Villiger lines? What would you suggest I try? Also, as far as taking time off to do the garage, I'm with you, man. We moved in April, still haven't got to the garage, but got to the rest of the house, and you have inspired me to get to work on that garage. Thanks for the great stuff. Keep it up, buddy. Bye.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for that. And, welcome to the Parishioners group. Welcome to the Ask the Pulpit hotline here. And, take the time for the garage. Here's the thing. Noah and I were talking about this after the garage situation. It's like we don't give ourselves enough time to do something and then, sit back and enjoy that feeling of accomplishment. That feeling of accomplishment is very, very important. And we, as a society, I feel like we do something and we move on to the next thing, and we're never satisfied. We're never happy. We're always complaining about, oh, yeah, I just did this, but I still have to do this and this and this, And by God, take a minute to appreciate the fact that you accomplished something. I took 3 days to clean out a garage that was full of shit. And now I can sit and I can record in here. And yeah, is there still more things I need to do? Yeah, I mean, here, for those of you on the YouTube, I have all that shit right there. I just showed everybody on the YouTube there. I have all that shit right there that I still need to sort through. And guess what? It's fine. It's totally fine. It's out of the way. So it's not preventing me right now from doing what I need to do. I can pull my car into the garage if I need to, if an impending ice storm is coming or something along those lines. But, I can do it and I'll get it done. It'll be fine. But take this time to appreciate the fact that, you got the bulk of the work done. The fact that I can pull the car into the garage. And in your case, Josh, dude, the garage is an easy room to ignore. and it's out of the way. It's just what you're doing, especially if you said you just moved not too long ago and you got the whole rest of the house done. I still have my office to do. That's the one. That's the room that every time I walk in there, I get intimidated and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much work. I don't want to do this. And that's the room that I've left. And I need to get that room done because I'm tired of doing my newspaper layout at the kitchen table. Those chairs at the kitchen table are not designed to be sat in for 8 hours, let me tell you. And it'd be nice to have my desk, and it'd be nice to have my space available for stuff. And I have some space set aside in my office for hobbies that I haven't done in a very, very long time that I would like to get back into, and things of that nature. And so I'd very much like to get my office done, and I just need to designate the time to do it. And so do it, Josh. Do it. Get your garage done, and let us know how the progress goes on that. As for the Villiger line, in terms of what cigars I would recommend, you're saying that you kind of went a gamut, the fair way on the spectrum there. You said you went from like light to medium to medium plus. So I guess that just leaves the heavy stuff that you're not a fan of. If you like a good kinetic, if you're looking for a nice kind of light Connecticut, the creme, I think it's creme. Hang on, I should know this off the top of my head, but for whatever reason, I am now all of a sudden blanking on the name of the damn cigar, and I should know it. Hang on. What year was I born? They want to know what year I was born. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, it's the Villiger Cellular Creme. I never pronounce that one word right. It's the creme, Kreme. It's the creme. That one is their Connecticut. Comes in a variety of sizes. And, come on, you're going to give me some details here. Creamy and smooth, delicate, that sort of thing. It's a good Connecticut cigar. The other one I would highly recommend that I really, really enjoy is the 1888 Nicaragua. That is going to be your standard Nicaraguan blend cigar. It's got some spice to it. It's not a Maduro, but it does have some spice to it, and that comes in a variety of different sizes as well. Medium-bodied cigar, really, really good. I enjoy the 1888 Nicaragua. Yeah, give those two a try. Give the creme and the 1888 Nicaragua a try. The other one, I would say that you could give a shot to, if you're feeling fancy, if you're feeling like you're wanting to increase your taste buds a little bit there. So there is the Black Forest, which is the Maduro version of the creme. It's not. It's stronger than the Connecticut creme, but it's a really good Maduro. So if you're wanting to try a Maduro, that one wouldn't be bad. And I don't know, they go all over the place. But yeah, give those two. Give the creme and the 1888 Nicaragua a try. Those two would be really good starters for the line. And I'll say this too, the Villiger export, the little guys, I'm telling you, don't sleep on those. Anybody we're coming into the winter when smoking time gets short and you're looking for a really good short cigar, don't sleep on the Villiger export. It's a really good little brief cigar that you can enjoy, and man, it's good. I dig it. I dig it a lot. So thank you so much for the call. Moving on, this is our last call for this Ask the Pulpit.
Hey, Nick, it's Paul from Texas.
What's up, Paul?
But originally from Poland.
Okay.
So I got to call and defend my country here. Noah made a comment in one of your episodes.
Uh-oh.
He said, of course it's a Polish person, whenever you guys were talking about the body falling out of the funeral van in Poland. Poland used to have a bad reputation, but compared to the shit going on here, I think if you just replaced all your Polak jokes with a Florida man, the jokes will be a lot more realistic. Second comment,
I
you guys have been talking about Kit Kats a lot with the Halloween candy stuff. I love Kit Kats. I could say that they were my number one for sure. But don't you find that recently, and I don't know if they've changed their packaging or their ingredients, they have a lot less flavor, and they tend to taste like whatever it is that they're next to. So if you just got them in a plastic bag, after a while they just end up tasting like plastic. They keep doing this shrinkflation stuff, and I wonder if that's one of the things that they're stripping out on is packaging and ingredients on them. Anyway, hope you have a good Halloween, and hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Talk to you later.
Great to hear from you, Paul. I've got two things to comment on that. So, first of all, you're 100% right. Florida man can replace anybody in any, silly person joke. There was a bit, I used to listen to Loveline in college. So when I was in college, I didn't have cable. I had a TV with rabbit ears, and so I've told this on the show before how I, could get two channels if my rabbit ears were turned to one way and two channels if they were turned to the other way. That's how I got confused one time, thought I was watching the news, and they kept panning to this old guy and asking his opinion on the news, and it turns out it was the 700 Club, and I had no idea what it was. I just was like, why are they asking this guy his opinion on the news, and he keeps talking about Jesus? But anyway, moving on. So I would listen to the radio a lot, and I'd go for drives at night, and I'd listen to the radio, and it's how I entertained myself in college some nights. And I would find myself listening to a couple of different things. Click and Clack, the Carr Brothers, or the Tappert Brothers on NPR. Oh my God, I love that fucking show. Those guys, people calling in, my car's going crack, crack, rattle, rattle, blue. And they'd be like, what kind of car is it? And they'd tell them, and they'd know what it was from some stupid little description. And they'd make recommendations, and I'd love that. And they were funny. And I used to love listening to Car Talk. You can still listen to Car Talk. They have old episodes as podcasts now. You can actually download and listen to old episodes as a podcast. Just search for Car Talk wherever you get podcasts. One of the brothers passed away, so I don't think they're doing. I'm pretty sure they stopped doing new episodes when that happened. So you're definitely listening to some older stuff, but still there. You can still listen to Car Talk. But the other thing that I used to listen to, because I just found it was typically such a train wreck, and it was fun to listen to and hard to turn away from, was Loveline. And this is back in the day when it was Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. And they were a good pair. And, of course, they had all the people calling in with their deviant sexual shit. And, I think I might have this. What are the symptoms of this? And whatever. It got weird. But one of the bits that they did on there was a game. And it was called Germany or Florida. And basically, Adam Carolla would read off a headline from a news article, or maybe a brief little description of a news article, and the contestant had to guess, did this fucked up, just bizarre event happen in Germany or happen in Florida? Because they contested that, or the show basically had the premise that everything really, really weird in the world tends to happen in either Germany or Florida. That those are the hotbeds of the weird activity. And I swear to God, it's the most brilliant premise. And I wish if I wouldn't get sued, I would steal that bit in a heartbeat. That is one of the funniest freaking things. I think it's just a brilliant bit of comedy. And I find that it's so true. So to your point, defending Poland, yes, they had a body roll out onto the street. I'm sure that probably has happened in the United States. We just don't know about it. We just heard about the one in Poland. Maybe not. Maybe we're securing our hearses better than the Polish people are. But, whatever. It happened. So, there's that. What was the other thing you called and talked about? Did I already talk about that? I don't remember. Oh, Kit Kats. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about candy now. So, obviously, Halloween is come and gone. And I did have my fair share of candy this year. I mean, not a ton. I bought a little bit. And, my son, I took him to the trunk or treats. And the thing about my son that you got to know is he's not into sweets. My son is really not into sweets all that terribly much. But what he does love are suckers. Dum Dum Pops, suckers, whatever kind of suckers they be. Tootsie Roll Pops, whatever. Doesn't matter. If it's on a stick, my kid's all about it. So, we go to these trunk or treats. And essentially, of all the candy we receive, the only thing he wants are the suckers. So all the rest of it comes to me. And so from there, what I ended up doing, I used a lot of it. I regifted a lot of it on Halloween. I gave it to the kids that are coming up and doing the trunk or trick or treat thing, because why buy more when I already had this? But I did have some Kit Kats, and I don't know if I necessarily noticed that they took on other flavors, because they were all individually wrapped and essentially with everything else. But what I will say, and I've noticed this about a couple of, not just Kit Kats, but all kinds of different candy, none of it tasted as good this year. And I don't know if it's my taste buds that are evolving or changing or whatnot, but or the candy, but it's just not as good. And what I have found this year is I have been spending some time. There's a little like global market store over in St. Louis, not a world market. That's like a chain, and that sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, you get some of the stuff that you get at this global market there, but this global market's more of a little independently. I guess it's independently owned. I don't know. But they have all kinds of shit from all over the world, all sorts of global ingredients, and they have the place separated out by country, and you can go and you can find all kinds of wacky shit, stuff that we just don't have here in the States, but you can get it there. And what I like doing there, and what is very popular, because they have it all separated out, and you can tell that this is like one of the sections that gets a lot of foot traffic, are the sweets. And so, I'll go and I'll try some candy from other parts of the world and things of that nature. And what I have found is just that the flavors in this foreign food is so much more intense and good and just robust. And the shit we're getting here, this processed chocolate that we're getting here in the States, it's just fucking sugary sweet nastiness, and it's just not good. I'm just not into it. I'm just not as into it. The only thing that really hit right for me this Halloween, the only candy that I will say I was like, meh, you know what? That one right there continues to hit right, was the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And even that, I recognize there's a lot of sugar in that, and that, it's not normal. It's not a product that, let's put it this way, if they were making it overseas, it's going to taste different than than what we're getting here in the States. But it's been a bit of a lazy day. I've been getting some work done around and everything, but we're coming into the afternoon here, and we're in that part of the day, that post-lunch, pre-dinner kind of nappy time. But anyway, I've noticed that the candy sucked this year, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's the candy, but something does feel different. I'll give you that. To this point, I had this conversation just the other night. You know what else I've noticed? I have lost a lot of love and flavor for, and it's just one of those things that I don't know if they're different or if I've, after 43 years grown up and I don't have a taste for it anymore. But French fries, I mean, look at me. I'm a guy, I know and appreciate my French fries. I don't want French fries as a side. It's a chore. They're not that great. Everywhere you go, like, it used to be like, oh, this place has good fries, or those are good fries. It's so rare you get good fries anymore. They're different. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. So Culver's, I don't know if you have them down where you're at, Paul. I know that they're around. I'm sure my friends in Wisconsin that are listening probably have Culver's all over the place. Culver's fries, I used to really like them. Now it's like I try it and I'm just like, there's something about it I don't like. And I realized that it almost tastes like they take mashed potatoes and like fry and like put them in like a crinkle cut fry mold and make their fries. And I'm sure that's not the case. I guess I can't say I'm sure that's not the case, but it almost tastes like mashed potato that's been molded and fried into like a French fry. And McDonald's fries, they suck so much versus what they used to. And like Wendy's fries haven't been the same since they switched 20-something fucking years ago to the skin on with sea salt, and everything. Chick-fil-A, they've got the big waffle fries. Those are fine, but like, you pay so damn much and you get so little because they're waffle fries, so they fill up a lot of the box. There's a lot of air in that box, let me tell you. And then from there, it just continues and goes and goes and goes. KFC got rid of the potato wedges, and now they've got their shitty fries. And I'm convinced that their shitty fries at KFC are essentially the nacho fries from Taco Bell, just without the cheese, because, they're obviously owned by the same parent company. But yeah, fries suck. Everywhere I go, fries suck. Every once in a while, I find a place, and I'm just like, yeah, they got tolerable fries. They're all right. They're good. Penn Station, Five Guys. Those fries tend to be all right. I like that style of fry. If they're not done well, though, they can really suck. And God, they hold the grease so much. And I'm not into fries. A good onion ring, I'm all right with a good onion ring. But I'm kind of over French fries right now too. So it's kind of weird. Candy and fry. It's like stuff's just not hitting the way it used to. And I don't know if it's just me getting old or what, but that's where I'm at. So anyway, Paul, thanks so much for the call. I really appreciate it. And guys, this has been this month's I guess it's not a monthly thing. It's just whenever I get to it. So this has been another Ask the Pulpit. I let my cigar go out. Anyway, you guys can get your calls in for the next Ask the Pulpit by calling the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. And as you heard, it can be questions. It can be comments about previous episodes. It can be whatever you want. It's just a dialogue between you, the listener, and me sitting here needing someone to talk to. So feel free to call the hotline and talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about, candy not tasting the same, or if you want to talk about how to send me a pie, do so. We'll work it out. Or if you want to give a cigar review, call up and give a cigar review. What are you smoking that's been smoking well lately? Let's go for it. So anyway, let's do this now. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars can't clip our wings. So before we get into this current Blackbird story, I want to give a little update on Grizzly Bear 399. Now, as we talked about, I believe it would have been the 2 episodes ago, Grizzly Bear 399 was up in the Grand Teton National Park and unfortunately was struck and killed by a vehicle. But on November 1st, 2024, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, in partnership with Grand Teton National Park, honored the legacy of Grizzly Bear 399 by returning her ashes to the Pilgrim Creek area of the park, where she spent most of her life. Following a respectful cremation, Grizzly 399's remains were brought back to Grand Teton National Park, recognizing the connection that Grizzly 399 had to the area and the interest she inspired among visitors to the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. 399 will always be a part of this special place, said Grand Teton National Park Superintendent Chip Jenkins. However, there's still work to ensure that her descendants and her grizzly bears continue to thrive in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. It's up to all of us to make sure they do. So, there you go. Grizzly Bear 399 was returned to the Grand Tetons. So, she gets to rest where she lived. Anyway, today, you're in Lawrenceville, Georgia, 1982. You're a middle-aged mom and grandmother, and you're enjoying a Friday afternoon. You've got some housework going. Your teenager, Tony, is a junior in high school, and he's out in the driveway tinkering underneath his 64 Chevy Impala. But next thing you know, you hear a crash, and you run outside and you see Tony unconscious underneath his car where the jack has given away. But you are Angela Cavallo, and somehow you summon the strength of 10 men and you lift that car 4 inches off the ground, enough to drag your son to safety. Except you can't rouse him from his unconscious state, and so a neighbor, an 11-year-old boy, has to run and grab help from others. Quickly, your neighbors are pulling your sweet boy and replacing the jack that slipped and fell out of place, causing the accident, all while you, Angela Cavallo, are holding the car up. And so, in an instance of hysterical strength, Cavallo did what she needed to do to save her son. So be like Angela Cavallo and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. I find this whole concept of, the hysterical strength to be very, very interesting. The fact that, that's not the only instance I found, but it's one that had detail. And, where you suddenly have to do something that you normally could not do. But because you have to, you do it. You summon up the strength and extra whatever. I don't know if they're trying to say it's extra testosterone and all kinds of other stuff like adrenaline and all that, but it's impressive nonetheless. So anyway, there's that. Well, guys, I am available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Facebook Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in on the fun there. We are on Twitter/X. We're on YouTube. I haven't been kicked off yet. And you can call the Pulpit hotline at area code 863-874-0000 and leave your comments, leave your calls, leave your questions, and get in on the fun by calling the hotline. I am, give or take, about halfway through this Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua. I dig this cigar a lot. I've smoked a lot of them. This has been a box purchase more than a handful of times for me, and it's been a good, car cigar. I've smoked this thing quite often, so it's good. It's got a lot of good spicy notes to it, but like I said, the description said, what was it? Cedar. What did they say? It was a cedar, leather, and toast. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I haven't really sat and smoked it with that in mind, so maybe, I don't know. But I enjoy it. It's a good medium-bodied cigar that offers up good flavor for me, and I dig it. So there you go. Anyway, well, at some point here, I will be making an announcement about how we get submissions for the Parishioners Cigar of the Year. I'm not going to get into details here or whatever, but obviously things have adjusted and changed in such a way that I don't know how we're handling both the submission and the voting process this year. For those of you who were in on it in previous years, you might take 3 seconds to think about, what I'm talking about, and you might realize why it might be a little more difficult this year than in previous years. But anyway, I'm figuring it out. In the meantime, if somebody has any sort of technical know-how and maybe has some sort of an idea as to how we can, in a sane and coherent manner, gather up recommendations for cigars and to be considered, and then have some sort of a voting process so that I can compile all that data and come up with this, that would be helpful. You can feel free to reach out to me, Nick, N-I-C-K, at cigarpulpit.com, and we can figure something out. But anyway, yeah, if we can, we're working on it. We are working on it. I want to make sure we do a Parishioners Cigar of the Year this year. So be thinking about your recommendations for that, and that'll be coming soon. So anyway, in the meantime, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Stay safe. Stay smoky. I really got to jazz up this studio space of mine here. I've got my leg lamp, and as you can see, I've got the little air purifier there, which, boy, that thing struggles mightily. I put it through its paces. And, we got the chicken, the BF chicken chilling out there, and a nice ashtray that was gifted to me by Toby Martinez. But yeah, I need to spruce this studio space up a little bit. So I don't know. I'll have to work on that. Anyway, take it easy, guys.